When Loomian Legacy was released, were you one of the 83k people playing it? And were you still playing it a week later? Hey guys, it's Ominous Nebula here, and today I'm going to talk about the downfall of Loomian Legacy, where it went wrong, and how it will rise in the future. Before we dive into this video, make sure to subscribe and like the video if you want to see more story times, and don't forget to comment what other stories you want me to cover next. So it all starts off with Loomian Legacy and its initial release, which was July 20th. Everyone was hyped for this, and big content creators such as Think Noodles, Flamingo, A-Drive, and many more big creators played this during its initial release. The game was performing pretty well with an astounding 80k plus player count. However, it was missing two key features for a long time. These two features being the Trade Resort and the Battle Coliseum. These two player facilities were huge back in Pokemon like Bronze, and those not being in Loomian Legacy for a long period of time definitely took a big impact on the player count of the game. Even though those weren't in the game, this game was performing pretty well with the lack of content. But a couple weeks went by with no updates, which disappointed a lot of people. Not being able to trade or battle anyone with the Loomians people have been collecting made people question the point of even playing the game, since they already beat the content available at the time. That being said, the bigger content creators strayed away from the game, and players that used to play the game daily stopped playing it as much because it was pretty much doing the same thing over and over. Nevertheless, a couple months later, they decided to drop the Trade Resort and Battle Coliseum, which definitely helped the player count and increased the amount of daily users in the game. At the time, I was even streaming those updates for a long time and got a pretty good amount of viewers, especially for the subscriber count I had, which at the time I believe was like around 1k or 2k. Anyhow, the game was still lacking content, such as new Loomians and new areas to explore. A couple weeks went by, and we got a leak for a new battle theater, with a ton of new Loomians, and even a Halloween event planned for this update. This was by far the best update Loomian Legacy has made to this day, and it sparked a lot of hype around in the community. Lots of people were excited, and more content creators started looking and playing the game a bit more, knowing this update was going to be huge. So you might be thinking, how did Loomian Legacy go from 83k to only 1.7k players when all of this happened? Well, the answer to that question is the amount of time between each update. Now don't get me wrong, it felt like I was waiting forever in between each update, but the devs have things going on in their lives, and with a game like this, making big updates such as the second theater takes a lot of time. So let's fast forward to the update. The update drops and everyone is pretty hyped. I was streaming with like 800 plus average viewers on stream, as well as many other content creators streaming with tons of viewers as well. This brought in a ton of views and exposure to Loomian Legacy, leading to a bunch of new content to play, as well as a bunch of new players and even returning players coming back to the game and playing it daily. Now, as many of you guys know, as I stated earlier, it took like a month or two for them to just get Trade Resort and Battle Coliseum into the game. Now, we haven't had a new theater in the game since October, and it's April now. Granted, between that time period, we've had other events such as the Halloween Loomians and Christmas Loomians. However, those were just events available for only a certain period of time. We also did get Totems and Rally Ranch, aka Breeding, which helped the player count stay up a bit. But that wasn't enough to keep players satisfied. But then, they decided to launch a Mastery update, allowing players to unlock Gamma Gleaming Loomians. This update definitely helped in daily users as people were starting to hunt for Gammas on the daily. But over time, it just got old, and as content creators and players are just sitting here waiting for new updates to come to the game. We're literally just finding the same Gammas over and over. Not really much that you can do until new Loomians come out. We've had Sephirite leaks, but those came out like a month ago, so we don't even know how far progressed they're in to the Sephirite City update, and the release date is unknown. So basically, the players that used to have got tired of the same content for an extended amount of time, and have either quit the game or are just waiting for the game to drop a new battle theater. Until this happens, I don't see Loomian Legacy going anywhere near the front page, but it definitely has a lot of potential to do so, as we saw from the release date player count when it was really hyped up. I believe that they can build that hype back up if they keep making right updates. Do you guys think Loomian Legacy will exponentially grow again, or do you think it'll continue to stay where it's at and flunk? Let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe and like as it helps me out a ton, and it lets me know that you guys enjoy these story times. It's your boy Ominous, and I'm out. Peace.